Hello, I'm Dr. Survi Khandelwal. I'm going to present on the topic clinical profile of cases requiring anti-VEGF in the retinal vein occlusion having macular edema. So the aim of my study is to see the clinical profile of anti-VEGF in macular edema cases in the RVO regarding the improvement of the vision, and the objectives are to see the visual outcome and also to see the decrease in the macular edema. Also to see the analyzing the efficacy of single dose of anti-VEGF versus the multiple doses of the anti-VEGF regarding the improvement vision. So the inclusion criteria includes all the cases of CRVO and the BRVO and hemi-CRVO associated with the macular edema. The exclusion criteria includes the macular edema secondary to diabetic retinopathy, age-related macular edema, idiopathic retinal telangiectasia, retinal artery microaneurysm, and radiation retinopathy. It is a prospective study which is done over a period of 18 months, and the sample size is 140. So the demographic features shows that in the ischemic CRVO, non-ischemic BRVO and hemi-CRVO, the age which is more is the 61 to 70 years of the age is the clinical presentation of the patient, and the gender biased male are more common than males. The visual acuity at the presentation we have seen in the ischemic CRVO, it is less than 6 by 16, 73% of the cases. It is 6 by 36 to 6 by 24 in 50% of the cases in the non-ischemic CRVO. In the BRVO, it is 6 by 18 to 6 by 9 in 69% of the cases. And it is less than 6 by 60 in 58.3% cases in the hemi-CRVO. So after the first, so we have given injection for the first time and the second time, and then we have seen the result in ischemic, non-ischemic, BRVO and hemi-CRVO regarding the visual acuity. After the first injection, all have improved, but after the second injection, ischemic CRVO remains the same, but non-ischemic CRVO, BRVO and hemi-CRVO have improved. Now regarding the visual acuity after we have given second injection of anti-VEGF, so we have divided into the groups. Some patients were given the anti-VEGF, some patients were giving the sectoral lasers, and some were on the medications. So in the CRVO, in the ischemic and non-ischemic both remained same with the anti-VEGF, and with the sectoral lasers they improved. But in the BRVO, with the anti-VEGF and with the sectoral lasers, both remained the same regarding the visual acuity. And in the hemi-CRVO, also with the anti-VEGF, they remained the same, but regarding visual acuity in the sectoral laser, they looking into the cystoid macular edema. So after the first follow-up and the second follow-up of the anti-VEGF injection in the ischemic, non-ischemic, BRVO, hemi-CRVO, in all the cases it decreased. After the second injection, they were again divided into the group of anti-VEGF and sectoral laser and on medications. So it was seen with the CRVO cases in the non-ischemic anti-VEGF, they improved. With the sectoral lasers also improved. And cystoid macular edema in the BRVO cases, in the anti-VEGF it improved, in sectoral lasers also it improved, and in hemi-CRVO anti-VEGF it improved and sectoral lasers also improved. So the results of my study is mean age of presentation of RVO is 61 to 70 years of age. Male affected more than the female in RVO except the BRVO where the ratio slightly changed. Systemic association is seen more with hypertension than diabetes. Prior visual acuity we have already seen, and the prior cystoid macular edema presenting with ischemic CRVO, non-ischemic BRVO and hemi-CRVO we have seen. After first and second treatment of anti-VEGF, some patients were giving laser treatment, and it was found out that laser treatment worked nicely, decreasing the macular edema and improving the vision as well. After 2 injections, rather than giving irrational anti-VEGF, laser treatment can be tried, which can decrease the macular edema as well. In our study, both groups showed almost similar improvement in terms of visual acuity and the cystoid macular edema. Both group means after the anti-VEGF divided into anti-VEGF and the this sectoral laser. So the number of injections required significantly reduced group where additional laser was performed. Similar results were demonstrated by the Tomosato et al. Suggesting that photocoagulation of non-perfusion areas reduced the amount of macular edema recurrence following the intravitreal anti-VEGF. Our study differed in protocol of the treatment, which involved monthly injection for the first 2 months along with laser after the second injection, and we have used FFA to demonstrate the area of the peripheral CNP. The Relate trial was contrary, suggested that scatter photocoagulation does not reduce the macular edema, but they significantly decreased in the treatment protocol as they have performed this scatter laser after the anti-VEGF of 6 months. Now, the recently done the WAVE study also demonstrated that no added benefit of photocoagulation on treatment burden, but they also differed in the treatment treatment protocol. So the conclusion is targeted laser photocoagulation of peripheral CNP areas in RVO with macular edema may decrease the need of repeated anti-VEGF injections and injection-related complication while maintaining similar benefits in visual acuity, contrast sensitivity, and visual fields, especially in treatment naive patients. Thank you.